for a healthier, sanitary, and more pleasant environment in public and employee restrooms. The Inline OdoSan drip dispenser for urinals and toilets. The Inline OdoSan drip dispensing system not only counteracts bad odors at their source, it dispenses the special fluids into the flush water to clean the inside porcelain surfaces and leave the urinals and toilet bowls sanitary. As pioneers of the drip dispensing concept, we are experts in the use of wicking for liquid transfer. From this model, patented in 1905, we continue to upgrade the dispensers and fluids as new technology becomes available. The new dispenser is small and designed to be attractive in any restroom decoration, with covers in soft white plastic or chrome plate. Liquid transfer is achieved with a state-of-the-art plastic wick, which provides a uniform dispensing rate for the fluids from the dispenser to the flush water. The fluids are absorbed up the two outer legs of the wick, and when the wick is saturated, the fluid goes down the center leg into the stainless steel tube and the flush water. Before going into the detail of the various installation alternatives, it's important to remember the following basics. On a tiled wall, mount dispensers in a position where the holes for the anchors are always drilled into the grouting, never the tile. Before drilling into the pipe to attach the bottom connector, make sure that the tube is long enough to reach the pipe. For urinals, always drill into the side of the pipe for top installations and in front of the pipe for side installations. For a side installation, make sure that the tube from the dispenser to the pipe is at a slight downwards angle. To make installation easy and quick, it's best to have a toolkit with the following items: a power or rechargeable drill, an extension cord if a power drill is used, a 7/32 or 6 mm masonry drill bit, a 1/8 split point drill, which is supplied with the dispenser, a 3/8 drill bit, which is used only for side installations, a small claw hammer for countersinking anchors and removing competitive units, a steel measuring tape, a felt tip marker, a No. 2 Phillips drill bit and screwdriver, channel locks without teeth to prevent damaging the chrome surfaces of the flush valves, a 9/16 and 1/2-inch wrench, an Allen wrench which is supplied with the dispenser, a standard screwdriver which may be needed to relocate toilet seat cover dispensers, etc., a small hacksaw in case a tube may have to be cut, a sponge for cleaning up after the installation, a carpenter's belt to hold the tools and parts during the installation, and a toolbox to store everything is good to have. Now that you're prepared, let's go over each of the installation options. Top installation over urinals. The top installation is the most popular for urinals, since it's the most attractive and becomes part of the flush valve assembly. This is very apparent when the chrome dispenser cover is used. The first step is to open the dispenser and remove the reservoir in order to insert the top connector. Holding the backplate against your side, insert the key, pushing down to release the locking catch. At the same time, with your fingers in the holes on the backplate, pull it out from the cover. Then, resting the backplate against your side, bend it backwards so that the reservoir can be pulled off. Insert the top connector over the nipple of the reservoir and push it in until the connector flange is pressed firmly against the bottom of the reservoir. Push the reservoir with the top connector attached into position in the backplate, using both hands with the backplate on a table or other firm surface. The slides of the reservoir must fit into the slots on the backplate, and it's only fully installed when the two knobs on the reservoir click into place. Push down with your thumb on the connector to avoid damaging the nipple of the reservoir. Next, attach a compression nut and washer to the straight end of the tube and insert it into the top connector. Tighten the compression nut and end with the curved tube facing away from the backplate. Position the backplate at the correct height and mark on the pipe below the flush valve the height for the hole to be drilled for the bottom connector. Drill a 1/8 inch hole into the side of the pipe using the special split point drill supplied, which drills the hole into a curved surface without having to use a punch. Make sure that the feed tube and O-ring on the front connector part is centered over and into the 1/8 inch hole in the pipe, and the screw of the connector is facing the wall. Attach the back part of the connector to the front connector with the 3 hex screws and nuts, tightening them with the Allen wrench supplied with the dispenser. Attach the remaining compression nut and washer onto the curved end of the tube and insert it into the bottom connector. Then, making sure that the tube is vertical, mark through the backplate the places where the holes are to be drilled for the anchors. Pushing aside the backplate to reveal the marks, drill the holes for the anchors in the drywall or tile. A 7/32 inch masonry drill bit is best, although a 1/4 inch masonry drill bit will also work. Insert the anchors in the holes in the wall and hammer them into place so that they are completely flush with the wall. If this is not done, the backplate will not fit flush against the wall, and there will be a gap between the dispenser cover and the wall. The number 2 Phillips stainless steel screws are now inserted through the backplate and into the anchors, and a number 2 Phillips drill bit is used to tighten the screws in the anchors. The dispenser backplate is now secured to the wall, and the installation is almost complete. Finally, making sure that the curved end of the tube is fully pushed into the bottom connector, the compression nut is tightened. Be careful that you do not over-tighten, which could strip the threads of the bottom connector. After the installation, the system should be flushed several times to check for any leaks. Tighten any of the joints that may have a leak. Activate the system. To start the system, insert the wick into the reservoir. The 2 outer legs fit into the main part of the reservoir, and the center leg rests in the small, separated area which wicks the fluid through the system to the flush water. A cartridge is used to deliver the fluid to the system. Unscrew the cartridge cap, which reveals the safety seal, which is pierced by the spike when the cartridge is inserted into the reservoir. These are the holes of the backplate in which the lugs on the back of the cartridge fit. The cartridge is inserted by pushing down with the seal over the spike and pushing back so that the 2 lugs on the back of the cartridge are fully into the holes in the backplate. Attach the dispenser cover by placing the 2 slots at the bottom of the cover over the 2 lugs at the bottom of the backplate. Then, swing up the cover to the top of the backplate over the 2 locking springs, which click into place. After installation and service, wipe the dispenser and remove any finger marks if a chrome cover is being used. Then wipe up any plaster from the fixture and the floor. Side installation. This shows a completed side installation, which is always used for installing the system on toilet bowls, where the pipe size in the U.S. is normally 1 1/4 or 1 1/2 inch diameter. Most of the procedures for side installation are the same as for the top installation, with the following exceptions. In place of the straight top connector, there is a curved right-angle connector, which is inserted over the nipple of the reservoir in the same way as the top connector was attached. The backplate is placed into position on the wall with the screw slots over the horizontal grout of tiled walls, as shown here. A 7 or 10 inch length of straight tubing is loosely attached to the top connector, and the pipe is marked where the hole is to be drilled, allowing for a slight downward angle of the tube. A toothless channel lock is used to loosen the nuts of the pipe below the flush valve. This avoids any damage to the chrome finish of the locking nuts. By loosening these 2 nuts, the pipe can be turned into position at the correct angle to the wall. From the set of curved washers, select the one that is closest to the curvature of the pipe. Drill the 1/8 inch hole with the split point drill bit. Then widen the hole with the 3/8 inch drill bit. With a fine round file, remove any rough edges around the hole. The bottom connector consists of the body, the curved washer, and the well nut, which expands in the pipe when the connector is tightened, creating a leak-proof seal. The well nut is fully pushed into the hole in the pipe, and the nut tightened until the well nut is fully expanded inside the pipe. The tube that was loosely attached to the backplate is removed and a compression nut and washer attached. This is then inserted in the bottom connector and tightened with a 9/16 inch wrench. Use the 1/2 inch wrench to hold the body of the bottom connector as the nut is tightened. The pipe is then turned to the correct angle with the wall and the backplate is reattached, tightening the top connector to the tube with the wrench. The position for the holes for the anchors are marked and drilled, and the backplate is mounted to the wall. This and other final installation procedures are the same as with the top connector. Except do not forget to tighten the 2 nuts on the pipe that were loosened to allow the pipe to be turned. Finally, remove the handle from the curved washer. Printed installation instructions are included with the dispensers and should be taken with you when you begin installations. They are illustrated and are very useful if any part of the installation procedures has been forgotten. Inline installations are not difficult, as long as these instructions are followed. Once installed, they become a permanent part of the restroom and provide long-term repeat service revenues of benefit to you and your company.